Chosen one, there are moments in life when heaven becomes silent. Not because you have been forgotten, but because something greater is being prepared behind the scenes. There are seasons when you wonder why certain doors closed, why certain people walked away, why your prayers seem to rise into the air without an answer. But sometimes the silence is not rejection. Sometimes the silence is preparation. Sometimes God is moving pieces that your eyes cannot yet see. The message coming toward you is connected to your last move. The decision you made when nobody understood you. The step you took when fear told you to stay where you were. The moment you chose faith over comfort, obedience over approval, and purpose over popularity. That move was not unnoticed. What seemed small in the eyes of others carried a meaning far greater than you realized. There are moments when one choice changes the direction of an entire journey. A seed looks insignificant when it is placed into the ground, but hidden beneath the soil is a process of transformation. The same is true with your actions. The world may only see the surface, but God sees the intention, the sacrifice, the tears, and the courage behind your decisions. You may have felt like you were losing something when you walked away. You may have questioned if you made the right choice when you separated yourself from what was familiar. But sometimes leaving a place is the only way you can enter a new one. Sometimes losing what was comfortable is the beginning of discovering what was truly meant for you. The shocking message coming is not meant to bring fear into your heart. It is meant to awaken you. It is a reminder that your story is not controlled by the opinions of people. Your future is not limited by your past mistakes. Your identity is not defined by the moments when you felt weak, rejected, or forgotten. There is a purpose attached to your journey that cannot be cancelled by delay. There is a calling that cannot be erased by disappointment. There is a door that can only open because you had the courage to make the move you made. Many people never step forward because they are waiting for perfect conditions. They wait until they have no doubts, no struggles, no opposition. But faith has never been about having every answer before moving. Faith is trusting that the one who guides your steps already knows what is waiting ahead. Your last move may have confused people around you. They may have questioned why you changed. They may have wondered why you stopped chasing things you once desired. But growth often looks strange to those who are still standing in the same place. When a person begins to walk into purpose, not everyone will understand the transformation happening inside. The message coming is a confirmation that your obedience mattered. The tears you cried in private were not wasted. The battles you fought when nobody was watching were not meaningless. Every struggle shaped your character. Every challenge strengthened your spirit. Every difficult moment prepared you for the responsibility connected to your next season. Do not underestimate what happens after a person chooses courage. One decision can create a chain of events that leads to restoration, healing, and unexpected blessings. What looked like an ending may have actually been an invitation into something deeper. But remember, being chosen does not mean the road will always be easy. It means the road has meaning. It means the difficulties you face can become lessons instead of limitations. It means every mountain you climb develops something inside you that comfort never could. The enemy of your purpose is often distraction. It wants you to look backward and question every step forward. It wants you to focus on what you lost instead of what you are becoming. But you cannot build tomorrow while constantly living in yesterday. Your last move was a declaration. It was a statement that you were ready for something different. You were ready to stop settling. You were ready to leave behind what was holding you back. You were ready to trust a vision bigger than your current situation. And now comes the moment when what was hidden begins to become visible. The preparation season begins to produce evidence. The seeds planted in silence begin to show signs of life. The lessons learned in darkness begin to shine in the light. Stay humble, stay faithful, stay focused, because the greatest transformations often happen quietly before they are revealed publicly. A tree does not announce its growth every day, but one day everyone notices the strength of its branches. The message coming is a reminder that your journey has been watched with purpose. The move you made was not just a random choice. It was a turning point. It was a step toward becoming the person you were created to become. Do not fear the changes ahead. Do not allow uncertainty to steal your peace. Sometimes the greatest blessings arrive disguised as unfamiliar paths. Sometimes the greatest breakthroughs come after the greatest surrender. The chapter you thought was closing may have been the chapter preparing you for something new. The rejection that hurt may have protected you. The delay that frustrated you may have developed you. The silence that tested you may have strengthened you. Keep walking. Keep believing. Keep moving forward with wisdom and courage, because the message coming is not only about what is about to happen around you, but about who you have become because of the journey you have walked through. The last move you made may have looked ordinary to everyone watching from the outside. But there are moments in life when a single decision carries a weight far greater than people can understand. There are choices that appear small in the natural world, but create a ripple effect in the spiritual journey of a person. The step you took, the boundary you created, the opportunity you released, or the direction you chose was not just a simple action. It was a turning point that revealed something deeper about who you are becoming. There comes a time when every person must decide whether they will continue living according to fear or whether they will move forward with faith. Many people remain trapped in familiar places because comfort feels safer than change. They hold on to situations that drain them because uncertainty feels frightening. But there is a moment when the soul begins to understand that staying the same can become more painful than stepping into the unknown. Your last move was a declaration. It was a moment when you chose growth over comfort. It was a moment when you decided that your future was worth fighting for. Even if nobody celebrated it, even if nobody understood it, even if some people questioned why you made that choice, there was something inside you that knew it was time to move. Sometimes the greatest changes happen quietly. There is no crowd watching. There is no announcement. There is no immediate evidence that your decision will lead somewhere meaningful. But the most important transformations often begin in hidden places. A seed does not become a tree overnight. Before anyone sees the branches, there is a process happening beneath the surface. The same is true with your life. The last move you made may have required you to let go of something familiar. It may have required you to walk away from an environment that no longer matched your purpose. It may have required you to release relationships, habits, or expectations that were keeping you from becoming who you were meant to be. And even though letting go can feel like losing, sometimes surrender is the doorway to receiving something greater. There are seasons when God allows certain things to leave your hands because they were never meant to define you. Some things are removed not because you are being punished, but because you are being prepared. A person cannot carry everything into a new season. Sometimes old burdens must be released, so there is room for new strength, new wisdom, and new opportunities. The world often measures success by what can immediately be seen. People look for quick results, visible achievements, and instant rewards. But purpose does not always work that way. The deepest work happens internally before it becomes visible externally. Character is built in moments when nobody is watching. Strength is developed in battles that nobody knows you are fighting. Your last move may have been made during a difficult season. Maybe you were tired. Maybe you were uncertain. Maybe you were afraid of making the wrong choice. But courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is choosing to move even when fear is present. It is trusting that the path ahead can hold something greater than the comfort behind you. There are moments when people will misunderstand your transformation because they only know the old version of you. They remember who you were before the lessons, before the struggles, before the growth. They may not understand why you no longer chase the same things or why you no longer respond the same way. But growth changes a person. When your visions expands, your priorities change. The last move was not just about changing your circumstances. It was about changing your perspective. It was about realizing that you are not meant to remain stuck in places where your purpose cannot grow. It was about understanding that sometimes the path forward requires leaving behind what once felt safe. Every challenge you faced before this moment prepared you for this decision. Every disappointment taught you something. Every closed door redirected you. Every painful experience developed patience, wisdom, and endurance. What you thought was wasted time was actually a season of preparation. The next chapter of your life will require a different version of you. The person who enters the new season cannot think the same way as the person who survived the old one. There must be growth. There must be faith. There must be a willingness to trust the process even when the full picture has not yet been revealed. Your last move was a sign that something inside you changed. You stopped waiting for everything to be perfect. You stopped allowing fear to control every decision. You began to understand that sometimes the only way forward is to take the step and believe that the path will become clear as you continue walking. There are seasons in life when everything feels quiet. You pray, you wait, you hope, and yet it seems like nothing is changing. You look around and wonder if the promises you believed in are still possible. You begin to question the purpose of the waiting, the reason behind the delays, and why the answers you desire have not appeared yet. But hidden beneath the silence, there can be a process taking place that your eyes cannot see. Silence does not always mean absence. Sometimes silence is preparation. Sometimes the moments when nothing seems to be happening are the very moments when the greatest changes are being formed. Just because you cannot see movement does not mean there is no progress. Just because the door has not opened does not mean the path has ended. The hidden preparation behind the silence is one of the deepest lessons a person can experience. It teaches patience. It teaches trust. It teaches you to develop strength without needing constant proof that everything will work out. Anyone can move forward when everything is clear, but true faith is revealed when you continue walking even when the road ahead is uncertain. There are things that can only be developed in quiet seasons. A person's character is not built during moments of applause. It is built during moments of struggle. It is built when you have to make decisions without recognition. It is built when you choose integrity, even when nobody would know if you chose differently. Many people desire the blessing but do not understand the preparation required before receiving it. They want the new season but do not realize that the old habits, old fears, and old ways of thinking cannot always follow them into that place. Before a person steps into something greater, there is often a process of becoming stronger, wiser, and more mature. The silence may be teaching you things that success never could. It may be showing you the importance of patience when you want immediate answers. It may be teaching you humility when you want recognition. It may be developing compassion through the difficulties you have faced. The experiences that challenged you may become the very things that prepare you to help others later. Sometimes the greatest work happens underground. A tree grows strong because its roots go deep before its branches reach high. The roots are formed where nobody is watching. The foundation is built before the structure becomes visible. In the same way, your life may be developing in ways that are not yet obvious to the people around you. Do not underestimate the seasons that feel slow. A delayed moment does not mean a denied future. A closed door does not mean there are no other doors waiting. Sometimes what feels like a setback is actually protection from something that was not meant for you. Sometimes what feels like a rejection is a redirection towards something better aligned with your purpose. The silence can also reveal what is truly inside your heart. When everything is easy, it is simple to remain confident. But when you are waiting, when you are uncertain, when you do not have all the answers, your true foundation is tested. The question becomes whether you will continue believing even without immediate evidence. Your preparation is not only about receiving something new, it is about becoming someone new. A greater opportunity requires a greater level of responsibility. A bigger purpose requires a stronger mindset. A new chapter requires you to leave behind the limitations that once controlled you. There may have been moments when you felt forgotten. Moments when you watched others move ahead while you remained in the same place. Moments when you wondered why your journey looked different from everyone else's. But every person has a different path, and comparison can make you overlook the unique work happening within your own life. What you cannot see today may become clear tomorrow. The lessons you are learning now may become the wisdom you need later. The pain you endured may become the strength that carries you through future challenges. Nothing is wasted when it shapes you into a person of greater purpose. The hidden preparation behind the silence requires you to keep your heart steady. It requires you to continue growing, even when the results are not immediate. It requires you to stay focused on becoming better, rather than constantly searching for signs that everything is happening according to your timeline. Sometimes the greatest transformations happen before the breakthrough arrives. The person who receives the blessing must be prepared to handle it. The person who enters the new season must have the maturity to protect it. The person who steps into greater purpose must understand that the journey was not only about reaching a destination, but about becoming ready along the way. The silence you are experiencing may not be an empty space. It may be a workshop where your faith is strengthened, your vision is refined, and your future is being shaped. What feels like waiting may actually be preparation for a moment when everything begins to make sense. There will always be moments when people do not understand the path you are walking. They may look at your decisions and wonder why you changed direction. They may question why you walked away from things that once seemed important to you. They may not understand why you became quieter, why you started choosing differently, or why you no longer chase the same things you once pursued. But not every journey is meant to be understood by everyone. Growth often creates distance between who you were and who you are becoming. When a person begins to discover a deeper purpose, their choices begin to change. The things that once satisfied them may no longer bring peace. The places where they once felt comfortable may begin to feel too small. The dreams they once chased may be replaced by something greater, something that requires courage and commitment. People often judge what they cannot see. They see the decision, but they do not see the process behind it. They see you leaving, but they do not see the battles that happened inside your heart before you made that choice. They see the change, but they do not see the prayers, the struggles, the lessons, and the moments of reflection that brought you to that place. Sometimes the hardest part of following your purpose is accepting that not everyone will come with you. Some people are connected to the version of you that no longer exists. They may have become comfortable with your old habits, your old fears, and your old limitations. When you begin to grow, it can challenge the expectations they had for you, but you cannot remain the same person just to make others comfortable. A seed cannot become a tree while staying inside the shell it was created to break. Growth requires movement. Growth requires change. Growth requires the courage to step into something unfamiliar. There are times when the path ahead feels lonely because few people can see what you see. They may not understand why you are investing your time differently. They may not understand why you are protecting your peace. They may not understand why you are choosing discipline over temporary pleasure. But purpose often requires decisions that look strange before they become meaningful. The journey of becoming who you were created to be is not always popular. Sometimes it requires you to stand alone. Sometimes it requires you to say no when everyone else says yes. Sometimes it requires you to walk away from approval and choose what aligns with your values. The opinions of others can become a heavy burden when you allow them to control your direction. If you spend your entire life trying to convince everyone that your choices are right, you may lose the energy needed to actually build the future you are pursuing. Not everyone will understand the vision placed within you because they are not carrying the same responsibility. There is a difference between listening to wise guidance and allowing criticism to destroy your confidence. Wisdom helps you grow, but unnecessary judgment can distract you. You must learn to recognize the difference between correction that strengthens you and opinions that simply attempt to pull you backward. Your path is not defined by the people who doubt you. Your future is not cancelled because someone failed to see your potential. Many great things begin as ideas that others do not recognize. Many powerful transformations begin with a single person choosing to believe that change is possible. Remember that every person has their own journey. Someone else's timeline is not the measurement of your progress. Someone else's success does not mean you are behind. Someone else's approval does not determine whether your choices have value. The most important question is not whether everyone understands your path. The deeper question is whether you are becoming the person you are meant to become. Are you growing in wisdom? Are you becoming stronger? Are you learning from your experiences? Are you moving closer to the purpose that gives your life meaning? The people who truly belong in your next season will recognize your growth, even if they do not fully understand every step. They will respect the transformation happening within you. They will not require you to shrink yourself so they can remain comfortable. Do not allow misunderstanding to make you abandon your progress. A person planting a seed may look foolish to someone who only sees dirt, but the person planting understands what is coming. They know that something hidden is developing beneath the surface. Your journey may not make sense to everyone right now. Your choices may be questioned. Your direction may be misunderstood. But there are moments when you must continue walking with faith, patience, and wisdom, trusting that the path you are building today is preparing you for the person you are becoming tomorrow. There are moments in life when you begin to realize that every challenge you faced was shaping you for something greater. The struggles that once felt unbearable, the disappointments that left you questioning your direction, and the seasons when you felt alone were not simply random moments passing by. They were experiences that were forming your character, strengthening your faith, and preparing you for a new level of understanding. The message that reveals your growth is not always delivered through a loud announcement or a dramatic moment. Sometimes it comes through the quiet realization that you are no longer the same person you used to be. You respond differently. You think differently. You see situations with greater wisdom. The things that once controlled your emotions no longer have the same power over you. This is a sign that something within you has changed. Growth is often hidden before it becomes visible. A person can be transforming internally long before anyone notices the difference externally. The world may only recognize the final result, but it does not always see the process that created it. It does not see the nights when you had to encourage yourself. It does not see the moments when you had to keep going while carrying questions, fears, and uncertainty. Every struggle has the potential to teach something valuable. The difficult seasons can reveal your strength. The moments of rejection can teach you independence. The times when plans failed can teach you flexibility and patience. The obstacles that seemed designed to stop you can become the very experiences that prepare you for greater responsibility. Many people want the reward without understanding the process. They desire the victory but forget that endurance is built through resistance. A person who has never faced difficulty may not understand how to handle success when it arrives. But someone who has walked through challenges develops a deeper appreciation, a stronger foundation, and a greater ability to handle what comes next. Your journey has been creating a version of you that could not have existed without the battles you fought. The lessons you learned through pain have become part of your wisdom. The moments that tested you have strengthened your ability to stand. The times when you had to wait have developed patience that cannot be gained through comfort. Sometimes you look back and realize that the things you once prayed to escape were the very things that helped you grow. The experience you wanted removed became the lesson you needed. The delay you questioned became the season that prepared you. The closed door you feared became the protection that redirected you. Growth is not always comfortable because transformation requires change. A person cannot become stronger while refusing every challenge. A person cannot develop courage without facing moments that require courage. A person cannot discover their own strength until they encounter situations that demand it. The shocking realization is that you are stronger than the person you were before. The same things that once broke your confidence may no longer have control over you. The same situations that once caused fear may now reveal how much you have matured. You have survived moments you once thought you could not overcome, but growth also requires humility. Becoming stronger does not mean becoming proud. It means understanding that every lesson, every opportunity, and every new level of wisdom is something to carry with responsibility. The more you grow, the more you understand the importance of patience, compassion, and gratitude. There is a purpose behind the lessons you have collected along the way. Your experiences are not only for your own benefit. The wisdom you gain through your journey may one day become encouragement for someone else who is walking through a similar season. The person who has experienced hardship can often offer hope in a way that someone who has never struggled cannot. The message coming is a reminder that your growth matters. The progress you have made may seem small when compared to where you want to be, but every step forward is evidence that you are moving. Transformation happens one decision at a time, one lesson at a time, one moment of courage at a time. Do not dismiss the person you have become because you are focused on the person you still want to become. There is beauty in recognizing how far you have traveled. There is strength in acknowledging that you have changed. There is wisdom in understanding that the journey itself has shaped you. The next season of your life will require the lessons you learned in the previous one. The strength you developed will become necessary. The patience you gained will become valuable. The faith you built during uncertainty will become the foundation you stand on when new opportunities arrive. Your story is not only about what happens next. It is also about what you have survived, what you have learned, and what you have become because of it. The growth you carry within you is the evidence that every challenge, every waiting period, and every difficult step was preparing you for a future that requires a stronger, wiser, and more courageous version of yourself.